Cheri, thanks for joining us tonight. Businesses in Indiana are beginning to reopen now, and some people are ready to get back to work, others not so much, because they fear leaving their home increases their risk of getting the virus. In your opinion, how should employers handle their team members who may be uncomfortable returning to work?
Well, they've got to be careful. You can't just slough it off like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. On the other hand, you have to be real careful not to make it a bigger challenge than it is. So business owners are wise to really start asking some good, solid questions of their team members. How do you feel? What are your concerns? And make sure that they have an open dialogue back and forth with the people that they work with. Does that make sense?
It does. Now, even if some workplaces don't require their employees to wear masks at work, that doesn't mean that someone should be embarrassed about going to work with masks or gloves on, right? And do you think it makes them feel more comfortable doing so?
You know, I think that that's an incredibly great question, because just because there are rules or parameters or people have heavy suggestions on what needs to happen, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with a workplace culture, you've got to deal with the fears and the concerns of your staff member. So one of the best things that a business owner can do, first of all, is make sure to line out the things that you have already done. I have already made sure that the place is clean and sanitized. I've already posted notices about what our company is doing with regards to safety and security and sanitation. I've already made available some gloves or masks if you choose to wear them, if you are a business owner that says, hey, I'm not going to require it. But make sure that you're sensitive to what your staff members' needs are, because the worst thing you can do is minimize how they're feeling, because that will come back to bite you.
Yeah. Now, everybody has been waiting for the day that they can get their hair cut again. What about hair salons and barber shops? Are there specific things that can be done to make their clients feel more comfortable?
Well, everybody knows that if you have to risk getting sick to get the hair done, go do it. Oh, I'm just kidding. That's supposed to be funny. But at a barbershop or at a place at a salon, there are definitely some rules and regulations. You've got to make sure that you're doing the social distancing. You've got to make sure that not only your staff, but your clients can see you, physically see you, sanitizing the area after each use. I was watching a deal on TV, and I loved what this woman did. She had shower curtains hung up in between workstations, just different ways that you can say, listen, I don't know exactly what's going on with the virus, but if it's possible to stop it here in my shop, this is what I'm physically doing. And a lot of people, when they can see that you're doing something, you calm their fears.
Yeah, well, what about restaurants? Are there things that can be done there to make us feel more comfortable and safe?
You bet. In fact, I heard a really cool story actually locally, where they're actually opening up some extra parking and they're moving some of the seating outside. Now that works if the weather is good, but getting your clientele to a place where they see that you're going to have to deal with your state requirements as to how many people you can actually have. It looks like most states are going with a 50% a number of people that can be in the restaurant, but you can make sure that you clearly post what is the restaurant doing to make sure that people are safe. Make sure that you've got your curbside to go. Make sure that you are utilizing contactless payment if at all possible. Just those little things, but then you've got to make sure that you tell the visitors to the restaurant and also the staff how you're doing it. With regard to the staff, make sure that you're doing lots of training with not touching your face, because in a restaurant environment, that's the number one thing that we see is people are like, oh, hey, welcome to the store, and you inadvertently touch your face. And in a restaurant, already before COVID, that's not a good idea. Just be vocal about what you're doing.
And that was business expert Cheri Perry.